Welcome to this demo class on object-oriented programming. Myself, N. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Government College of Engineering, Singapore, Tanjavur. So in this video, I'm going to explain the concept of strings in Java. So normally the string is a predefined class in Java to handle the concept of strings. So string is a sequence of characters or alphabets to be stored, alphanumeric value characters will be stored in contiguous memory location. So it will be fixed. So in Java, the strings are called as immutable. Means immutable. It means that if you are doing some manipulation on a string object, the result of this manipulation is not directly updated in the variable. It means that we are unable to update the value of the string object once it is created. So normally it will be accessed by using the concept of index, and its content cannot be altered. So that we call it as immutable property. I will repeat once again. String is a collect sequence of characters to be stored in contiguous memory location. So that the content is a fixed one, is to define fixed and immutable characters. Immutable means that once if it is defined, then it cannot be altered. Then it is called as immutable characters. So normally the content in the string object can be accessed by using index. Okay, so let us discuss with one simple example. So I told that it is a string is a predefined. So a string is a predefined objects. Okay, so there are different type of constructors we have for initialization of your string. I told that string is a predefined class. So there are two different type of constructors. Is that there is a default constructor is there for creating empty string, and there is a parameterized constructor we have for define sequence of characters, or maybe we can define only we are going to see the only subsequence of characters, or maybe you can use bytes. So there are four possible parameterized constructors are defined under constructor, parameterized constructor, and as well as the copy constructor is also possible. Okay, so let us to know about this. So just I'm going to define just with the help of main function. We can apply in anywhere. Just I'm going to explain with the help of main inside of the main function. So start it. So void main. It takes a one string or command line arguments in the form of string. So we know that string is a predefined class which is defined in language package. Now I'm going to create a string. So new string. So this is a possible. It will create only empty string. So just I'm going to define what it is. So println string content equal to. Just I'm going to print the value of yes. Just now I'm going to compile. So demo.java. So just compile. So string is a predefined class, so that by it is a S is a predefined object, so that it is a immutable property, so that we are unable to access it. So the string content is equal to 0, means nothing will be displayed because the string content is empty string. So it will create empty string. So just a minute. This is the one possible way, that is called creating a default constructor. So assume that one more constructor also, there is a possible to create a string object like this. Even if you are creating a like this, then we can able to means it also to create a default string that is called empty string. So just I'm going to say. Yeah, it's because it will be considered as a variable, so that it may say that it may not be initialized. So that if you want to create an empty string, we have to create like this. So this is the way we have to create an empty string in Java. So that is empty string will be created. So we know that by using a default constructor, we can able to create an empty string, and also by using this line, we have to create an empty string. Now we have to initialize with some content. So for creation of empty string, so by using default constructor. Okay, just I'm going to use another one more notepad just to represent all. Just I can still now just up to this, just I can recall it. So there are three possible constructors we have to use it. So if you want to use the default constructor to create an empty string, so just I'm going to create an empty string. So by using for the creation of by using default constructor, default constructor for creation of empty string, there are two possible ways. One is by creating an object, or otherwise we can initialize like this. So these are the two possible ways we are able to create an empty string. And next one is for a parameterized constructor. For a parameterized constructor, we can assign some part of a string. That means assign some values to string object. Some values to string object. I mean that some name to the string object. So we can assign like this: string object name equal to new string. Then we are going to define. For example, I'm going to say Government College of Engineering. So Government College of Engineering. This is the one possible way. Just we are going to create a string objects. So just I'm going to copy and paste it to run my program. So now the object is created. Just I'm going to compile and run. It will say that Government College of Engineering. Okay, so this is a one possible way, and even there are different ways also he have. So for example, instead of this, even we can define like this. That the second possible way is string object name equal to new string of. Just we are going to define some alphabets. For example, we have to define in ASCII value format 65, 66, 67, 68. We are going to define in terms of byte values. That means that it is called byte array. So for example, just I'm going to change it now. So instead of this, I'm going to change, it's very difficult to know the ASCII value for every character. So then just I'm going to go 65, 66, 67, 68. So my string consists of 4 alphabets. So that alphabet 65, so capital A, capital B, capital C, and capital D. So now I'm going to compile. And so normally it will be represented in only in byte. We know that, but the characters. So just a minute. Yes, sorry, we need to define as a byte and we need to pass it as argument. I can pass it as argument. So I'm going to define a byte values. So 65, 66, 67, 68. So now I'm going to save and run it. Just I can represent. So it will be in a byte, no error. Actually, because the normal, if you are representing normal, it will be considered as an integer. So that the integer won't accept it. So that it shows an error message like that. So that we can create an array. So it will be represented by ABCD. Even if you want it, for example, I need first character to second characters. I need to extract and assign. So that you extract only the first to two. That means that it's like it's a range in Python. So that it takes only the index varies from 0 to 1, so that it takes from the first index to second index. So even it's normally even for the string value character, means it also will be accepted for strings. Instead of that, if you want, we can represent like this: GOVRNAMENT. So government, in that the S will be assigned from the first index to second index, so that OW will be considered. I mean, the OW will be extracted and assigned to this yes. Yeah, so this is the same problem. We need to represent in a character array and to represent. So if you all go with this, we can go with the character array. and to extract it, so my variable name is b comma. String cannot be converted into character. Yeah, it is a single quotes. So E, for example, I'm going to represent like this. So it will be separated by comma. So now it will be in a character. Here the single quote is missing. So we are representing in terms of characters. No error, just I'm going to run it. It will extract only one from 1 and 2 so that it will extract OW. So this is the way, this is the possible ways we are going to create a construct by using a parameterized constructor to assign it. Or otherwise we can use like this to represent. So it will not represent like this. By using byte, we are going to create. So the steps is that, so byte, we are going to represent like this. For alphabet, even if you want any combination of from ASCII table, we can do that. Same way we can work for character also. Okay. So the next thing is for another one way is we are going to create like this simply, but actually many of them we are preferred to go with like this, like as variable. So string equal to within double quotes we can define whatever the variable we want. So if you want, we can define like this. This is also a way to assign a value for the string variable instead of creating object. But it is similar. So like that we can represent and it will print out. So just wait for, okay, now compilation over. So it will be defined as a government term. So these are the possible ways we can use the concept of, we can define the strings in Java. Okay, so now the concept of string is over for initialization of the string variable. So just I can recall once again. So string is used to define a fixed and immutable character so that the content cannot be altered. So that if you want to create a string, we can use either default constructor for creating an empty string and assign some content to the string object by using different way of a parameterized constructor. And if you want, we can use a copy constructor to assign it. So these are the three possible ways we are going to assign the value for the constructors. Now let us do what are the special functions, special string functions are used for string concept. So normally these are some of the string concepts normally we use. One is for finding this length so that we can use the function as length. So if you want to find the length of the string, so these are some of the special functions which is defined inside of the string. So that if you want to find the length, we can use the object as, we can use that attribute as length property. So that if you want to find the length, s dot length, it is a method. So that s dot length is a method. It is a static method. It's a method which is defined inside of the string class to find the length of the string. So that it will calculate how many characters we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that it will print the length of the characters. So that we know that for n with null character, so everything is the same. But here it's always a length. It is similar to the length strlen method. So that it returns how many number of characters we have in the string object. So for this case, we have a 10 characters. So that it will be 10. Okay. So this is the one special string method which we use. And next one is for string literals. We know what it is. Already we discussed about it. And the next thing is CSC means that we have to use a plus operator for concatenation. For example, I'm going to combine government, college. The plus operator will be act as a concatenation operator to combine two or more strings. But actually, this is the one advantages. That means that one confusion we have, plus operator have a more than one role. Just here I used length only so that I'm going to print yes. then length equal to, now I'm going to compile. So that the now string content. So by using a plus operator, we are going to combine it. Clear? So even here also in printf also the plus operator will be act as a concatenation operator. Here the string content concatenate with this value, so that here the string concatenation takes place. Then followed by merged with this content. The content of the right side also to be merged. Then followed by with this, the value of this s dot length will be merged and it will be converted as a string and it will be displayed. So in system.out.println also it will be work like this. Also even if you are defined like this, for example, int a equal to 10, comma b equal to 20. Just I'm going to define a printf statement here. So system.out.println. Just I'm going to print a equal. I'm going to print the value of c equal to. I'm interested to perform addition operation. Actually, here the concatenation play a major role, so that it will here a will be 10 and b will be 20. So that the answer for this line must be 10 20 because it will perform concatenation operation. Means compared to the arithmetic, the concatenation operation have a highest role. Sorry, a is already defined. So that here the plus operator will be act as a two role, that is here addition operator and as well as a concatenation operator. So that here the concatenation operator have a highest priority than for addition operator. So that it will be written as 1020. See that the 1020. So that in order to differentiate, so we have to have a priority of changing the priority by using parenthesis. So in this case, the value of a and b will be performed. Then it will be converted as converted as a string and will be merged with this. And so now just I compile now. Just I'm going to compile. Then run it. So that now it will be converted. It will be changed. It will be written as a 30. So whenever you're going to use this plus addition operation, so whenever you're using a plus operator, normally the highest priority goes for merging. So the left to right has a highest priority. So that here, first of all, the priority will be solved, so that the parenthesis will be solved, so that it will perform arithmetic operation. But if you are returning like this, so that always that the string concatenation have a highest priority, so that the merging operation will take place from left to right. So that that means that the c merged with c equal to merge with the value of a, then it will be string. Then after that, this plus will be acted as a concatenation to combine, so that it will be written as 1020 like that it will be written. So that whenever you are going to define the arithmetic operation, especially for addition operation in printf statement, please to give a proper priority for operations. Otherwise, it may be sometimes means that according to that operation, maybe the string manipulation will take place, so that you can expect the unexpected results. So that we can have we have to give a proper priority to perform it. And the two-string method, we know that it is two-string method to convert any data type into string, and it will be returned for every classes in default. The two-string method will be defined. And value of also same thing. That means we are defining into the string value of the property also to define same thing. Okay. So the next thing is, first of all, we must know how to extract the value from a string object. So I told that the string object values will be extracted by using by using index. Okay. So if I'm going to define like means if I want to extract the value of every string objects, for example, my content is Government College of Engineering. This is my string. So I want to extract everything. So for I equal to 0, I less than s dot length plus plus. So I'm going to print the value of object. So system.out.println. So I'm going to print the value s of I. So now I'm going to compile now. Yeah, sorry, the variables I is not declared. Actually, there is an error. So I will tell you. There is a s because it is a string object, so that we need to convert it into object. Means it will be converted into the character array, then work. So instead of this, we can use the means we are now means that we are means by using a representation will be an index, so that we can use means that the char at function to extract the value from the corresponding index. So that we can't able to use the variable index directly. Instead, either we can convert the string into the character, then we can extract, or otherwise we can use the function caret. By using the caret member function, we can extract the character in the position. Sorry, small correction here. CHAR. So caret position. So caret is a method which is used to return the character which is present in the ith location. So initially the value of I equal to 0, so that it will return the value of the 0th index, so that answer is G. So like that it will be displayed. It's a 1 by 1 because I use the system out of print ln. Yes, I'm going to compile. So sorry, I didn't save it. So that if you want to extract any particular alphabet from the corresponding index, we can use caret method to extract it. So the direct index of representation won't work. So that it will be displayed 1 by 1 because I use a system.out print ln method, so that it will extract the particular character and it displayed 1 by 1. Okay. So the next thing is and then after that, it is a get cast. So get cast is a method. It means that you are going to extract the method value from the corresponding index, starting index up to ending index, in which array you are going to store. It means that get cast is a method which is defined inside of the string class for extraction, and we can store in the character array. For example, so for this, we need to define a character array. So I'm going to use character array 20 character. So that just I'm going to extract it. Instead of this extraction one character. So I'm going to extract it. So I'm going as dot get cast. Get cast. I'm going to index what is the starting index and what is the maximum index I need, so that I'm going to show all the characters in the in the string yes. So I'm going to store in the variable C, and the index start with 0. Means that extracted and will be stored from the starting index, and I'm going to display the value of C. System dot out dot println. I'm going to print the value of C. System compile. Sorry, I declared array in C format. Actually, it is not a correct syntax for defining array in C, sorry, Java. So new char 20. Just saved. So next I'm going to compile. There is no error. Then I'm going to run it. So it will display the government college. So for this case, now you are converted into the character array. So now we have to display 1 by 1. Means you can access by using an index. That's not a problem because we are converted into character, so that we can access by using index. Either you can use caret function for display, extract the particular character from the location and display, or otherwise we can use caret method. Means we can use just you can get char method to convert entire string into array. Then you can extract 1 by 1 by using an array index. That is also possible, but string we can't able to use string object with index. It's not possible to define. So it will be displayed 1 by 1. So this is the way the concept of the get cast method will work. I will repeat once again. So there are two methods to extract the value from the string object. One is a get char. So caret. Even small correction here. The caret method also we have. So caret is a method to it's a caret and the index we are going to define, so that the corresponding index it returns the character at the corresponding index. And get cast, you are going to extract some part of the string object, and it will be stored as a character array, so that we can able to access all those the content of your character array by using index concept. Okay, so these are the way that means that the concept of character extraction will take place. And the next thing is and just I can go with string operations that is called string comparison. Okay, for this I am going with the string case operation that is called conversion into the lowercase and uppercase format. So there are two methods we have for the conversion. One is called to lowercase and to uppercase. So these are the two possible methods to convert to define the case of your value. For example, so here just I can remove everything. So I want to change the value of this yes to lowercase. This is a method to convert your case of the character into lowercase. So then you have to store in some other array, or otherwise you can same object. I told that the string object is a immutable characteristic, so that whatever the operation we can perform on the string, it will not be reflected on the original string. So that we have to take it as another string. Means that I can store it in another string and I can show you how it is immutable. So system.out.println. Just I'm going to print the value of s1. So also I'm going to display the value of s also. We know that if you are using a dot property, so that whatever the operation we store, it will be reflected on the same object only, like that we studied. But actually, it is a immutable in nature, so that the value of the the value of the string is not updated. So that only is called as a string object is immutable. Means if any operation is performed on that object, means that the result of that operation not reflected, then it not reflected on the same object, then it is called as immutable property. So here the value of the s1 is I can convert into the lowercase, so that all the content will be in a lowercase format. But for AS, the content means it will be retained on the same. So that whenever you are going to perform any operation on string object, the content of the original object is not updated. So that whenever the manipulation results will be stored in some other object, or maybe the same object once again for rearrange the memory and you can store them. Means redefine the memory, then we can store it. So this is the possible way we can do that. Instead of this lower, we can use uppercase also to define, to convert the entire into uppercase. So we know that our lowercase means to convert the entire content of the string into lowercase format. So the uppercase means it will be convert any format into uppercase format. So see that the first S1 will be on a Government College of H1 in uppercase format. So this is the way some of the concept of the string functions will be handled. Remaining part of the string concept will be continued on the next video. Thank you.